you're here to see if this TK45 by KWA is actually any good. But before we do that, I'm going to hit that little bell in under 3 shots. If I do that, you have to hit the like and then leave a comment. Deal? All right. Let's see if we can do it. First shot. You know what to do. First, a disclaimer for the YouTube gods. The products featured in this video are for airsoft entertainment only. There are no real firearms featured in this video. Please don't hold it against us. Okay, today we are going to look at the KWA TK.45c. That's the version with the shorter rail. And I have to give you full disclosure from the beginning. KWA have sent this out to me. I do get to keep it at the end of the review, but they do not get to influence what I say about it. Also, full disclosure, I'm going to say lots of good things about it because I really like it. Just telling you up front. I just want to say a big thank you to the other supporters of the channel. Firstly, that is BZ Tactical, who actually sent out the product on behalf of KWA. The others are Rift Airsoft and White Sphere Tactical. And links and socials to all of those supporters can be found in the description, as well as time codes for whatever you're interested in. That's right, if you are just interested in certain bits like shooting or externals or close-ups, then you can use the time codes in the description to jump around to what is relevant to you. But what are we going to cover so that you know what it is that you want to go and see? Well, we're going to take a little bit of time to have a look at the externals of this platform. We'll get some close-ups, some nice shots of each individual part of it. Then we are going to touch on and talk about, but probably not go into any detail, on the internals. That is not something that this video is going to be doing. We are going to take this to the range then. We'll do a bit of a chrono and then we'll do some accuracy tests. They're not going to be scientific. It's just going to be a little bit about how it shoots, how I feel like it shoots, and whether or not I think it is a relevant platform to use. And then we'll come back and we'll do a little bit of a summary and conclusion on who I think this is for, if I think it's any good, and if it's worth the price tag. So let's get started. The TK45 is based on a pistol caliber carbine. Now, it is not a real steel replica, and therefore it is not based on anything in the real steel world. What PCC stands for in this context is the type of magazine that it takes. It's a slimmer magazine, not like your AK and your AR platform magazines. This is more of a pistol type magazine, but because it's KWA, they get to kind of style it how they want, and they've gone for this kind of almost a Vector, Kriss Vector style look mixed with an M4 kind of ergonomics. It's really interesting. It's really interesting to hold. KWA do give you a rail segment as well, or a couple of rail segments. So if you do want to run this without the gap at the bottom, you can run a rail straight down and attach, grips that are Picatinny style mounts, or you can run M-LOK style mounts on the bottom there. Then you've got this lovely muzzle flash at the end as well. I will say that your 14 counterclockwise thread is just a little bit below your rail. So I am expecting to find mounting a suppressor difficult. You might find a couple of tracer units that fit nicely in there, but you may need to just add on one of those outer barrel extensions that you can get. We have ambidextrous controls and your fire selector, which is a little bit stiff. It's not the smoothest fire selector, but it is nice and firm once you get it into position. You definitely know when it is properly engaged. What we do have is, with your ambi charging handle, you do have ambi bolt catch, which is really useful to be able to lock back so that you can see your rotary style hop unit. It is a really clean rotary style hop as well. And then when you're done, because it's ambi, you have a bolt catch on both sides. That's really easy, nice, clean, crisp, light bolt release there. This bolt cover is probably the only thing that's pretty basic. The bolt cover itself has a decent design on the outside. You've got your KWA logo, but it's flat on the inside. We do have this gorgeous PTS grip, and PTS grips are something that I do tend to put on all of my rifle platforms if they've got a removable grip. We do have the PTS flip sights. You have this lovely PTS EPS stock. I much prefer these to the standard crane style stocks. It is fully adjustable. I think that it's the standard 6 positions that you can put it in, but just by gripping the clamp and then sliding it down. The only thing that I would say about this that is a slight challenge with relation to stock is that even though it's a really easy access compartment, there is a lot of wire in this. A lot of wire, which makes fitting your 11.1 Deans, it's not a challenge because it fits really nicely. The challenge is making sure that you don't clamp down on the wires when you put that stock back on. One of the things that's difficult to show you but is an amazing feature on the TK45c is that KWA give you this extended Allen key. Why would they do that? Well, there is a hex screw, and that hex screw goes into the spring in your gearbox. By turning it one way or the other, you're pushing that spring either this way or that way, compressing or decompressing, which either increases or decreases your feet per second and your joules. That is an adjustable velocity feature on the KWA TK.45. It is brilliant. If you are used to running gas playbacks, you're used to end pass being the way that you can control the output velocity of your muzzle. This has an adjustable spring that gets the same result. It is fantastic. So you can tune it for your indoor or outdoor sight. What I will say about the internals, and I'm not going to say much, is that KWA market this as a platform that is an AEG 2.5. Why would you do that? Well, it's because although there is no ETU or MOSFET in this gearbox, they have provided space and a window to be able to install those aftermarket parts yourself. So if you did want an ETU and a MOSFET like a Titan, you have the space in this gearbox to add that aftermarket part yourself and improve it and customize it without having to do any milling, without having to do any customization on the internals. Let's have a little bit of range time with the TK45. Let's first see what we are chronoing at. Now we're running 0.25 gram BBs. So that's 304 feet per second, and that equates to 1.07 joules. 301, 304, 301, 300. So really nice FPS. Also that adjustable FPS bolt on the back, that spring, that adjustable spring, means that you can actually up and down it based on your field limits. So my field limits are 315 feet per second. So I can tune this really close to that, that's fantastic. It's the equivalent to an end pass in your gas playbacks. So for a platform like this to have that is brilliant. Let's see how it shoots. That trigger response is really nice, okay? Although we do not have a MOSFET in here or an ETU in here, it doesn't feel sluggish whatsoever. We are running an 11.1 LiPo battery, so you would expect, as a result of that higher voltage, for it to be quite snappy. But it really, really is. It feels really nice. Right, let's see if we can do a fast shoot. Yeah, that works. Now let's see how the rate of fire works on this. I'm expecting far quicker than I can do with my little trigger finger. Ready? And set. And we're out. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It is fun to shoot. There is a tiny little bell on a wall down there. Out of 10 shots, let's have a look. That's about 4 or 5. That's pretty good. It's a tiny bell. So as you can see, it's a really fun platform to shoot. It's got a really nice center of balance. So even though it's hefty, that full metal construction, it's very comfortable. You know, you can hold it at that front on a C-clamp, pinned up against your shoulder, and it is not too heavy. You're not going to get fatigue using this platform. The accuracy as well is pretty good. So I've used it on that indoor range. That's only 15 meters. So for close quarters, we're hitting a bell, you know, 5 centimeters big at 15 meters. Consistently, it's good. And every other shot is just around that bell. So the grouping is nice and tight. And then when you take this out into an outdoor field, you know, I've been hitting consistently 40 to 50 accurately, 40 to 50 meters accurately, but I can push it out to that 60, 65 meter range. May not be as accurate on 0.25s. Wind takes it a little bit here or there, but it can reach it. Now, price-wise, this is hitting the £400-ish mark, so it is quite up there in terms of the upper tier of airsoft replicas, and it's not going to be for everyone. That price might price some people out. However, KWA do have a polymer version of a lot of their platforms, so there is a polymer version of the TK45, and you still get the same internals, you still get the same performance out of that. So that's who it's not for, those who are budget conscious. But who is it for? Well, it's for anyone that actually wants something that's high quality, that wants something that's quite compact, but has reach and range, that is clean and nice to maneuver, has good ergonomics. And I actually wanted one when they came out, but they came out at a time where I was retiring. So I am really glad that KWA reached out and agreed to send me something. Thank you very much. And there you go. I think that'll do for today then. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you want to spend a little bit more time with me, you don't mind doing so, click on that video there. It's an oldie, but a goodie. An oldie, and you know it's old because I do a bit of running around. I do less of that these days, if I'm honest. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you like the TK45c from KWA, or if you want me to look at any of the other KWA products. Let me know in the comments which one you would prefer. Until next time, and I'm hoping next time is soon, take it easy.